All right, welcome back. This is M-Dog. Wanted to show you a little bit of bear fishing, carp fishing here at Bear. So this was, okay, the times are going to look really wacky because I was fishing. I went away for a couple hours and now I'm back. But if you look, 242 to 154. So we're talking about 45, 50 minutes of fishing, 279 silver. So for Bear, this was really good. You also notice the amount of black carp we had. And decent commons, and of course the normal amount of grass carp, at least normal for lately. So overall, seems like a nice little spot here that I want to show you. It's at 44.50. It's funny, I was fishing at Volkov lately for blue bream at that 71-100 spot. And then today I see that 44.50 at Bear is active again. And it just, it's just amazing how there are some just like basically some spots that are not always active, but just some of the most important spots in the game. Like if you're fishing at Volkov and you don't have 71-100 as, one of your rotation to check for lots of different species, you're missing out. And certainly 44.50 here at Bear is one of those spots as well. I thought we'd go ahead and just create the PVA right now. So we'll do Coco 1/17/21, which is the date. Coco, let's do Coco B because this one's a little different. I am going to do the Coco stuff, but we're actually going to put some crushed boilies, not those, but different ones. All right, so we've got Coco 12, Coco 5, and Coco 7. Now, as the other additive, a lot of the times what I would do is add cream-based additive for that last one. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to take some sinking boilies, Cocos and Cream 12. We're going to crush those up and put those as the last additive. And hopefully we're going to not fail this. It'd be a little more expensive PVA at this point to fail. So I thought I would just go ahead and show you. Do I want to use Coco's Cream? Yeah, I think so. It's going to show you from the beginning of the PVA all the way through a few minutes of fishing. All right, so now we need to turn that into a PVA. We will go with the 20 gram, and we'll call it Coco B. I'm putting the date now, because what I'm really realizing is I've got some really old did we fail? Why don't I see it? I've got some really old PVA, and if I don't date them, it sometimes can become a problem. All right, that's not it. I'm gonna have to go back on the video and see what happened. We used it? Did we really fail after I just said that? Okay, well let's don't spend too much time. All right, there's the Coco's 12. Where else would it have gone? Did I name it something weird? Coco B, I mean, it should be showing up. Coco 12, crushed. Or did I save it? Did I never make it and save it? Let's see if I saved it. No, I didn't save it. It must have failed. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. There it is. Alright, anyway. So one of the things that's always interesting about these bear spots is, at least lately, especially lately, they've been really good for the first hour. And then in some cases, at least for me, they've been greatly slowing down after that. So let me get these all in the water with the right PVA, and then I will show you what my setup is. And I can also show you, we're at 21 clip here, by the way. And just in terms of general direction, we're casting just at or slightly right of these numbers. The 4 or 5 numbers there. So I can show you what PVA we were using beforehand when we caught all the fish previously. And just to mix it up a little bit, I decided to try a slightly different PVA. So notice the hook size, that's the only difference in the rods. The first and third rod are going to look just like this. Large 2.0 hooks, 22 cream boilies with white Cocos and Cream flavor white corns. Okay? And then the second rod, I've got a regular large 1 hook. And in the first like 45 minutes of fishing, which is what we have in our keep net currently, I noticed that this one did have a slightly better bite rate. Didn't have to wait quite as long for bites. But the fish quality was about the same. So ultimately, it may be better just to run your normal large 1 carp hook straight across. But I did see someone that caught a both black carp and grass carp trophy in this spot. We're using 2.0 hooks. I'm not sure. I'm still mixed feelings about going up that high on carp hooks, but I'm not opposed to trying it every once in a while. And the bite rate was still really good, even with the 2.0 hooks on 2 of our 3 rods. So, all right, so that's the setup we have. Looks like we're about to get a bite. Let me show you this is the PVA that I was mentioning before that we were using. So same thing as the other one, except instead of the crushed up boilies, we actually had cream feed pellets 8 in this one. This is my pretty much go-to Cocos and Cream PVA mix, but I do like to mix it up every once in a while with the crushed boilies. So we'll see how it goes this time. First bite does come on one of the 2.0 hooks, and let's see what we have here. It's not too big, it's coming straight in. The time it took me to make that PVA and walk out here and everything, it's almost noon, so it probably would have been smart to like start this at a time when the carp fishing was going to be a little bit more active than the middle of the day, but see how long I'm willing to record here. Maybe we can at least get into the later afternoon a little bit where the bites will start picking up again, but let's see. You never know. We might get a couple decent fish even in the middle of the day. This is going to be a grass carp. Tell from how it's fighting and also how it looks. Maybe 10 kilo? I don't even know. 11.4. But for me, you know, again, that first like 45, 48 minutes, especially with the number of black carp we got, honestly, that was better than, I think, just about any of the 45 minutes I spent down at this spot down here at, what is this, F7 or whatever. All right, that sounds like a big fish, but it's actually, oh, it is a decent fish. I assumed it was just a friction break issue, but it's a pretty decent fish here. I'm trying to be a little bit more, I guess a little less aggressive when I can. I think being super aggressive with the fish, especially early in the fight, you can lose more fish. You also can, I think, do a little more damage to your gear when you're doing a lot of shift reeling or pulling against the fish when it's fighting you. He has some fight in him for sure. So we're running 35 kilo braided line, which is very standard for me at this point on my carp setups. But we're running 31.7 leader and lead core. So that's the weakest length. So we have 31.7 strength. So overloading stuff a little less. I mean, I used to always run 36 kilo stuff. I used to also run mono a lot more, which at bear it would be fine to have mono. But at amber, I've just found when you hook into that, you know, really big carp, that water body record or that blue tag or whatever, you actually need the braided line for that extra line on your spool, because it's going to run for a while. All right, let's see if we can see anything else going on. Yeah, we've got another bite on the third rod. And we can start increasing our aggression maybe with this fish here soon. Still fighting pretty actively, but it's not pulling line anymore, so I'm going to start trying to get him to head this way as much as I can. These grass carp are just deceptively strong. Even when it's not a very big fish. I mean, look how quickly he got completely tired out and just came right in. It's only 9.8 kilos, but man, he took off, didn't he? It's just weird. I'm actually going to get this one first because this one has the low friction brakes. Let's go ahead and get this one in. I was hoping we might see a black carp. I think we're more likely to see one as it gets a little later in the day. Can at least show you a black carp in this spot. But again, middle of the day, still very nice bite rate. I just have a feeling that this is a really good spot right now, which traditionally it often is. It often is. Haven't used any other baits here. I mean, other stuff may work great as well. The fact that the black carp were coming in pretty regularly on the Cocos and Cream made me not feel like I needed to test anything else. I do like that we're also getting commons here, which is good for XP and silver to have, and bite rate, to have a nice mix of commons as well. And at least for me, the average weight is much bigger than what I've been seeing at Amber recently. Now, you don't have the advantage of the rares like you do at Amber, but, you know, I'm okay with that. Just after a while, I get sick of all the really small carp. But we will give it a little bit more time. Now we're into the truly the like slowest part of the day. It's very common for, I feel like, somewhere around, you know, 1, 2 p.m. all the way up until maybe 5, 6 p.m. You see a significant slowdown. If you do catch a fish, this is often when you get the smaller ones. But then for the rest of the day, and even sometimes the overnight, if it's a good spot, the fishing's usually pretty good for carp. So that's a good report. I'm pretty sure that person who's messaging me does not have PVA, and they've been getting a little bit of a slower bite rate here, so they switched to smaller boilies. So instead of the 22s, because that's another, you know, as active as a bite rate as we've had here, that's with 22 size boilies. You know, that's the other thing about this spot down here. To really get that really nice bite rate, we were using the smaller 15, 16, whatever it is, boilie size. So if this keeps this up with the larger boilie, so on average larger fish, it seems like, that's really good. But yeah, if you don't have PVA, you know, you're probably going to feel a difference. If you have spot unlocked, use that. If you have the slingshots, send out either boilies that you're using or some sort of ground bait. maybe a black carp or regular carp ground bait. Just something to attract some fish a little bit. That should help make up for some of the difference in not having PVA. But this may be a spot that having PVA is significantly better. So hey, we're still getting bites here, even at the non-optimal part of the day. So I'll definitely like seeing this. Another grassy. Close to shore, but still has a little fight, a little spunk left in him. A little higher percentage of grass carp at the moment than what it was before. I would say that probably could be explained at least by time of day as much as anything else. We've had one common since we've been back. Earlier we had quite a few commons. It's been a bit weird. I've been doing a lot of small fish fishing lately. Got my picker rods out, going for the Donnets, the blue bream. But still trying to get some carp fishing in, especially during happy hours. Want to keep making progress. We're up to 84.5 or so towards our 90.5 million. Another nice one. I don't know. I think this spot right now at Bear, what's the weather going right now? It is overcast, a little bit cooler, and it might not be quite as good without these weather conditions, but I just have this feeling this spot is really nice at the moment. If you haven't tried it, I would come try it. I mean, I haven't seen the trophy yet, but definitely think that the trophies are possible here from what I'm seeing on VK and hearing from others. And here's our first black of this second session. Beautiful fish. Really nice XP in silver. All right, let's see what this is. This is that time of day where there's at least a chance that, continuing to get a couple black carp. Might be there. There's a common. There's the trifecta right there. Especially with these hook sizes we're using. It would be a very rare exception, I would think, for us to catch something other than one of these three species right now. I guess you sometimes in some spots, especially on the large one hooks, you might occasionally see a gibble or a crucian or a tench or something, but been here long enough to say that it's going to mostly be the three carps that we're seeing pop up. We're not seeing the leathers in this spot. We're just seeing the grass, black, and common. Leathers and mirrors, of course, are possible here at Bear, but haven't seen them yet here. At least not on these baits. Now, we could change baits. Sometimes that does it. Sometimes that will give you a better shot at the leather or mirror at Bear, but we're kind of dialed in to know what we're going to catch here with these baits, I feel like. We are now coming into that time of day where you hope to see an increase in bite rate as the temperature stops going up and starts going back down a little bit. It has gotten sunnier in the afternoon. So we'll keep going just a little bit longer. Let's see, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the last 14 minutes. Continues to be a nice bite rate. I don't think I've had one, I mean, you know, yet. This may change the longer we stay. I don't think I've had one juvenile marker. In other words, they look different. They're more white on the commons. I don't think I've had one non-marker at all that we've had to, you know, turn into fish pieces or release. We're just straight catching money fish right now. If you didn't hear me the first time, 21 clip is where we're sitting in this spot. It is Bear. I feel pretty confident that if I sat here for 2 hours, I would see a slow decrease in the amount of bites I was getting. But I also think if you're patient, I think you're going to catch trophies here. You may want to let the spot rest every once in a while so that you're not completely drying it out, but I think this is a good spot, a good fishing spot right now. Of course, things can change quickly. I'm hoping that we're kind of on the front end of this spot picking up and not, and it's not just going to like go away real fast, but it is nice to have a dependable spot, especially when amber's so unreliable right now. It is nice to have a dependable spot, even if you're just looking for, I don't have a lot of time, but I want to get some XP on my happy hour, or I don't have a lot of time, but I want to make a little bit of silver today, so I feel like I'm still progressing toward my, you know, next goal. I've had a lot of people asking me lately kind of what they should do, what they should get to sort of get into carp fishing. There's a nice black carp. You know, maybe you're around level 20, 25, whatever. You're been doing a lot of trolling, spin fishing, and just haven't set up your first, or maybe you're lower level than that, and you're just wanting to set up your first carp rig. So I'll give you my recommendation here. I can try to talk about it while I'm fishing. I think saving up for these Fortuna carp rods, I mean, here I am at level 40, and I still use them. Now, a lot of times I would carp fish on my Sage and 2 Avalons. But since I finally completed my set of Vengas, I've now decided to just use these for wild carp, big heads, sturgeon, basically stuff at Octuba, maybe bottom fishing at Sura or Tungusta. And I've gone back to using these Fortuna carp rods full time for carp fishing at Bear, Oldberg, Amber. Eventually, if I decide to purchase the TIs, which are the highest tier carp rods, then obviously I'll go back to carp fishing on the Avalons and the Sage. But I guess what I'm trying to get across is these Fortuna carp rods, while very affordable, will also grow with you. You can use them for as long as you want, really, in terms of carp fishing. And so if you're trying to save up to get into carp fishing, I just don't know why you wouldn't get these. You know, I mean, some people might make an argument for saving a little bit of silver and getting the Mecta carp rods, which, by the way, I like these a lot. But if you notice, I have all these set up for burbot, which is kind of funny. But if you notice, they only go up to 30 kilo load capacity. So if you ever get Megaras or Tagaras, or maybe even like an Avia here, if you're really going to overload it a little bit, you can't go with 31 kilo. You'd have to, you know, cap yourself at maybe 24 or even 21 to be on the safe side as you get a little bit of wear. So it will limit you down the line. You save a teeny bit of silver on the front end, but I really think these Fortuna carp rods are worth it. If you're trying to get into carp fishing, I would suggest buying these Fortuna carp rods. Now, what reel do you put on there? You already know what I'm going to say if you have spent any time with me on my stream or heard me talk about carp fishing in the past. Again, this one is also a no-brainer to me. I'm going to have to find it, but once I do find it, it's a no-brainer. Not the Tagara. That one's not set up. Not the Fishing Pride. What would I have it on? It's not on a carp rod. Where is it? I'll just tell you if I can't find it, but I'm really hoping I can find it here. I wouldn't have it on a Boonison. We also have a fish out on. It's not gonna be on. Oh, it's on a spinning rod. Sorry, I know where it is now. I'm using both of them on my Kama Mectas. It's this reel right here. This is what I would save up for. Caliber HSV, max drag 15.5. It's got a really nice strong mech on there and a huge spool. If you're using, let's say you're using 0.36 millimeter braided line for carp fishing, you can fit a full 300 meters on there. You don't have to worry about getting spooled at bear as long as you can somewhat keep it in front of you. So anyway, just as a side note, if you're looking for a recommendation of getting into carp fishing, Fortuna carp rods, Caliber HSV, to me that's the combo. It's another really nice black carp. And something else is pulling line. Man, this spot is on fire. It's en fuego. Quit watching me and just log in and come fish this spot. soon as we get to sundown here, I'll probably go ahead and wrap up this video. We'll get a quick update on how we're doing on silver, but oof, come on. It's a decent little fish here. And it's at that time of day where you're like, this could be a, you know, 16 kilo black carp or something. I don't think it's a common. I think it's either a black or a grass, right? The way it's fighting. Looks like it's a... Ooh. It is not a grass carp. That is beautiful. I think you have a reasonable chance to get your black carp trophy here. I really do. And it's not often that I would say that. I mean, I feel like a lot of times the black carp trophies that come out are pretty much just like very slim chance RNG. These things are coming out right here, right now. And, good gravy. You're just waiting on the trophy. You're just sitting here waiting on a trophy at the moment. Wow. Alright, it's almost... I mean, that's 3 in a row. Alright, let's get an update on silver. That way we can come back, check our... Where am I headed, by the way? The wrong way. We'll check our lines one more time before I stop the recording. But seriously, I just... I've appreciated Bear in the last couple weeks since our update because it's been a place for me to get some really nice, like, happy hour XP. But it's not been this good for me. And that was at that other spot down south. This is 4450 right now is... It's a whole nother level for me, right? To me. Now, some people have been killing it at that other spot. But... really the other spot, especially using the smaller cocoa boilies, I never felt like, oh, this is going to be a trophy spot for me. It just always seemed like this is, the bite rate was really good and just kind of the volume of fish you were catching was nice XP, nice silver kind of thing. All right, looks like we're going to see one more nice fish here and then I will wrap it up and I'll probably keep sitting here a little while longer with how it's going. But I'll try to get this video uploading in case you haven't tried 4450 lately. Hopefully you'll come here and catch you a really nice black carp. I hope you are able to. There's a decent common. Very, very cool. Can't believe we failed that PVA bag though. That was bizarre. Just because it doesn't happen that often, and then I was talking about it, and then I didn't notice it. It's just kind of weird. Kind of strange. Okay. I think I've gotten 0.4 million experience in this spot in a very small amount of time. Some of that was during happy hour. 0.5 maybe? Something like that. Alright, I'm not going to end it until we're actually not getting a current bite. So let's see if this turns into a fish pretty quick here. That looks like a small bite, doesn't it? We haven't seen any of that. They've been slamming down. This might be our first Crucian Gibble or something weird. Maybe we should stop the recording. We've been having good vibes. It's been going well. I hate to pick this up. I think the fish is on there. I think it's just small. Oh man, we should have stopped while we were ahead. What is this? It is a Crucian. Seriously? Hey, y'all are the best. Thanks for the support. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.